In this video, we are going to make cyanotype paper. And we're going to do that with some index cards and some of this blue stick tack and cyanotype brushable material. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of warm this stick tack up, and I'm going to put it on one of these index cards. And I'm going to make sure it stays in place because eventually we're going to coat these with a liquid. And when you put liquid on paper, it tends to react by curling. So with these blue tacked images, we will now have no more curling when we cyanotype these images. And I'm going to speed that up a little bit, switch out a marker, switch one more marker out. Now we know what we're doing, making cyanotype paper. And the brush I'm using is called a hake brush, which is a special kind of brush that doesn't have any metal in it. There's no metal at all in this. It's all wood and natural fibers. The reason you want that is because metal will cause the cyanotype chemistry to start reacting. It actually will, it's just not ideal. So this is an all-natural brush that we're using, and I'm just applying the first little bit of cyanotype chemistry to 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards, 5. I'm going to do them all. I find one brush dip gets me about 8 to 10 cards, depending on if I've properly kind of gotten the excess off of the brush. Then once I've added all the cyanotype chemistry to some index cards, I'll give them another brush over to see if I can even it out a little bit. Overall, we want an even distribution of the chemistry onto the paper. I'm also leaving these cards with a white border around the edge. I find that makes it very easy when the cyanotype is finished for someone to understand what they're holding. It almost looks like a snapshot. And so that built-in border is a nice way for cyanotypes to be finished as soon as they're done. Maybe that won't make any sense, but when you make your own cyanotypes, I think you will understand. And this has taken a while. It's a very nice meditative process for me to do this. I'd like to speed it up for you though, so let's go a little faster. And there's satisfaction in watching tasks get done efficiently and quickly on time lapse. Yeah, and now I'm gonna, just dot it and leave it there for a bit, and I'm gonna do like a 30-second just zoop, fast forward time, about a half an hour. Now these cards are dry, so let's take one off. See how well the blue tack comes off very nicely. The paper is dry enough to the touch, but I'm not going to touch it. And I'm just going to set it over there, let it dry fully while I do the rest. So let's take off the next card and see, does it come off as easily? Not quite as easily. It's close. And same exact thing. They're all equally dry at this point. They've all had enough time. And I'll just collect all the other ones. And there at this point, I can stack them on top of each other with no repercussions. Let's add the next batch of cards. It looks like I'm doing about 30 at a time. I'm not sure. Let's see, a row of 6 times a row of 4. I'm doing 24 at a time. That was easy. A row of 6 by a column of 4. Okay. Package up the dry cyanotype material because eventually we're going to need to put more of our drying cyanotypes on the right. So I just bundled those up to now. And I'm trying to get a little bit of excess off the brush because too much cyanotype chemistry will just soak the very first page that I deposited onto. And you can see that little remnant on the far right of those. That's the excess as I lift the brush off. But there we go. We did another batch of 24. So those have now dried. And again, it's time lapse, so you don't have to watch this process laboriously happen as I did when I did it. I like the blue tack. It looks like, I don't know, kind of reminds me of the card catalog at a library, the little drawer pulls, if you ever went to a library back when they had card catalogs that were physical. And they would have been index cards in those card catalogs, so this is form functional. All right, let's see how fast I can do this batch. Yeah. All right, packing more up. I think at this point we've done about 75. Technically, we've probably done about 24 times 3, 72. 74. No, 73, 75. No, I'm not going to count all those. But we are nearly done. And now it's time to actually take our cyanotype paper and wrap it up so that it can be sent off to the good people of the world that want to play with it. So Now we're not making anymore. Now we are packaging our cyanotype paper. And you might notice this whole setup, it doesn't look high-end. I'm using recycled materials. What I'm packaging these cyanotype papers in are existing cyanotypes that I have made that I would like to use again. They're not doing me any good just sitting around my house. I'd like to use them to ship these items out to the world. So every one of these 10 packs of cyanotype paper, I am putting in an existing cyanotype that I've made. They won't be, when you open the package, if you buy a package of this paper, the cyanotypes won't be in display condition. They're gonna be, you're gonna rip them, but that's okay. These are transitory art. You make them and you have fun and you learn and then you make another one. Or you make one and give one away. I think cyanotype is the ultimate material for quick creativity involving photography. And there we go. This is my first packaging of that one. And I'll slap a stamp on that when it has an address, and it'll be a joy maker for somebody. All right, here's the next batch of cyanotype wrapping paper. Every pack gets 10 3.5 by 5 index cards of cyanotype paper. And that's the basic process. I'd say, I'd probably make about 100 of these cards and then package them up into a pack of 10, and then they're ready to go. And I have I have so many cyanotypes, so many. They gotta go. They gotta find a new home. So they're being functionally useful in this process. Additionally, the index cards I am cyanotyping are Responsible Forestry Initiative, so fsc.org, certified. So at the very least, the paper came from trees that can be regrown and will be given a new life. New forest. I will find a better solution for packaging these than the Scotch tape. This is my first batch. This is all new for me, and this is my first batch, and I don't know what I'm doing yet. So it's nice to be able to just try, see how it works, and then improve. And let me fix that packaging there. And that's a cyanotype I made yesterday with clothespins. Or in the filmmaking industry, C47 wood clamps, which is the technical term for clothespins. There we go, got 10. We got one more package. And there we go. I have packaged up 10 packages of 10 each cyanotype papers. These are ready to be played with. They are ready for you to enjoy. Please let me know that you would like them, and I will make sure they get to you. In fact, just comment, and we'll find a way to connect, and I'll get you a package of this paper. Because I think it's the most fun you can have when there's sun outside. And it's just, there's no wrong way to cyanotype. If it can cast a shadow, it can be a cyanotype. Stick back around because we're going to make some cyanotypes soon.